You can smell it, you can feel it. I don't know if any of you guys out there can see it, but fall is in the air. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Ixchel and Quince, and we're on the East Coast again. It's been a few weeks since we posted last.
We got sick. We tested positive for COVID. Quince got sick first, then Rhea, then me.
Life happens. COVID, I feel, is crazy. It affects everybody slightly differently. I ended up getting a sty for the first time, or I don't know if it's what they call it, but my eye swelled up after my daughter poked me from a clogged
It was pretty bad.
oil gland or something. My daughter actually had one as well, so I'm just figuring it had something to do with it. The weather's been amazing. The leaves are changing right now, and we're really excited to share with you some adventures we have coming up. For this episode, we're getting back to some chores, and the leaves are still green, but I'm telling you what, winter's coming, so we're preparing.
So we hope you enjoy it.
You can smell it, you can feel it. I don't know if any of you guys out there can see it, but fall is in the air. It's time to get to work. So my dad always stresses equipment is key. He couldn't have been more true. Thanks, Dad, for the steel chainsaw. It's definitely necessary. I had a chainsaw before, it leaked oil everywhere. I bought another one, did the same. I've had no issues except for my own personal issues with not learning. This chainsaw and this brand, I think, for how much cutting I do, probably a good investment. Oil the chain, sharpen it, gas, and that's pretty much it. It's always good to go, man. When it gets really cold, it starts up. Never have issues. Oils and gas for the chainsaw, ready to go. Majority of this wood I will be just chopping up, making it into manageable, carryable pieces, placing it next to this wood splitter that I did borrow from my neighbor, and putting them into this wood pile, and finding wherever else I could stash this wood to keep it out of the weather. Some of it, there's some big rounds in there that I'll try to do more projects, fun projects. Created this little wood bench. That was kind of a fun little thing. So stuff like that. Just want to get a little bit more creative with the wood. Yeah, let's get started. I went to grab my pretty new gloves right off the wood pile, and this is what sucks about mice. This is what happens to shit out here. Anything with like a fabric or anything, they're chewing it up right before this winter season comes, and they're making their nests, putting insulation around themselves. So a good tip. All my cars, truck, I put mint oil drips in areas that is necessary that they don't like. They don't like mint oil. Yeah, they're just a pain in the ass. I think chipmunks and all those other things, they don't really do this stuff. The mice do. Mice are terrible. They live in all my rocks. Yeah, need a new pair of gloves, I guess. Whew, missed a piece. Or a few others. I don't know, it doesn't look like maybe I put much of a dent in. I only worked for about 40 minutes. I need to dedicate much more time to make a substantial dent into it. But I just want to share with you, there's a lot of movement of wood besides just cutting. That's the pile so far. And then I got to move it again. I'll split it, and then finally I get to the point of stacking. Yeah, it's just a lot of labor intensive work. I do quite enjoy it at times, as long as I'm thinking I'm getting a workout and not working. You know, it's free heating. You just got to put the sweat into it. So this was about 8 trees that were taken down. It's a lot of tree, and I need to get all this taken care of, stacked up and stored away, because hopefully that will preserve it for much longer. If I was just to leave it out here, maybe 3 years this would still be good, and after that bugs and rot would get to it. It just goes bad. Maybe even sooner than that, knowing how many carpenter ants, shitty animals chew the hell out of everything out here. But you know, this is some dry wood that I have. And this has been here for a couple years now. Yeah, it looks still good. There is where the water has hit it, you'll notice. It's rotting, and some bugs are in there. I probably got critters, but that's the stuff that happens over time. You'd like to get into a normal, you know, rhythm of like not having too many years out of wood, just because you can't have, unless you have a perfectly stored, dried area like this that I created when I first moved here. I need to build like maybe, I don't know, 3 more of those. You know, eventually maybe I'll do that right next to it, and then one over closer to the house. Maybe I'll just build them all around the place, so when I take a tree down, I don't have to move it super far. But yeah, hopefully you guys all kind of got a little sneak preview, and I'll show glimpses of this pile throughout this next 6 months, and hopefully it'll be a real quick video or little quick elements and parts of video where you'll see this pile get smaller and smaller. But I just want to dedicate this kind of film to getting after what it takes to chop wood. For those that don't know the amount of effort it takes, don't think it's too expensive if you're buying it stacked up and ready for you, because there's a lot that goes into it, a lot of effort that goes into it. Not one of those things to be taken for granted for those that do it for you. Thanks for joining. Give me a kiss. Give me the kiss.